Hello people, and welcome to the finale of the Victoria II American History series. As this is the finale, I will be moving on to another series after this, but if you want to see more of this timeline, leave a comment. Let's get into it. Russian anarcho-liberals rose up once again. There was hundreds of thousands of soldiers in the Yellow Russian Army. This was caused by more discontented peoples within the Russian Empire, and the single year that it was in showed the fragility of the entire empire and how it would inevitably fall apart. In 1906, the US changed its uniforms to the more modern green fatigues with a wide-brimmed hat. This came just in time for the United States intervention in Hawaii. From June to October, the US invaded Hawaii to rid their government of reactionaries who overthrew the government. Overthrowing the monarchy with it, soldiers created the Hawaiian Republic. In San Francisco, a 7.9 intensity earthquake struck, killing thousands of people and destroying most of the city. This tragedy, and the aid that came from the Socialist Party, caused them to gain a larger backing in the 1906 election. That election was also when the Republican Party replaced the Populist Party as the United States' sole liberal party. The three-party system was back, and it was there to stay. On September 1st, the first tanks were invented. It would take years for the first tanks to be built. Once again, Poland also tried to gain independence, but nobody was interested in trying to help free them anymore. July 20th, 1908, State of Washington. Thousands of people rose up in the name of anarcho-liberalism. Already having to live in an anarcho-liberal country, the citizens of Washington had had enough and rose up. General Thomas Hancock led the Army of the Northwest into defeating them at the battles of Seattle and Walla Walla. A cause that came from this was known as the Red Winter. In late January 1909, communists rose up in New England trying to turn the U.S. communist. The Red Guards were no match to General Jeffrey Allen, who defeated them at Hartford and New York. America continued to intervene in the world's affairs, invading Ecuador in April. Like Hawaii, this showed the U.S.'s commitment to stop reactionaries wherever they were. The U.S. went to the 1908-1909 Madrid Olympics, gaining multiple medals. And despite the death of the great General Jeffrey Allen on January 31st, 1910, the U.S. continued forward, finishing the first tanks in that year. In D.C., Congress passed an act to give pensions to the elderly, pensions being subsidies, aka Social Security. Europe did it again, and this time it was over Ghana. The Great War had two sides, the British Commonwealth and the Entente powers. The Russians, who were part of the Entente, had their counterattack against Austria-Hungary fall apart due to the poor terrain and poorly trained soldiers, but the Austrian offensive had a hole in it. In January of that next year, the Poles, reading the room, finally revolted, choosing death to semi-pointless petitions. Neither side at the time had time to fight the revolt. The British and Dutch navies fought in the North Sea with various winners to the battles in the North Sea. Back in the States, the US chose neutrality and re-elected Eugene Debs for a fifth term as president. Want to know what happens next? Me too. Save file corrupted it right after all of this, so I had no clue what happens next. But if you want me to expand on the timeline, leave a comment down below and we might actually do that in the future. Thank you all for watching. This has been Alternate History Link. Goodbye.